Hi, welcome to this demonstration of PTEM, PathWave Test Executive for Manufacturing. In this demo, we'll explore the switch by via test step and compare it with the switch test step that uses predefined connections managed through Switch Manager. You'll learn when to use each approach and how they impact test development, maintenance, and scalability. Let's start with a simple test setup. In this example, a power supply is sourcing power to the DUT, while a digital multimeter measures the DUT outputs. The signal paths between the instruments and the DUT are routed through switching hardware. The DMM is connected through an 8782A switch matrix, and the power supply is routed through a DAQM903 relay module. The required via points have already been defined and are ready to use. With the switching infrastructure configured in Switch Manager, creating a connection becomes straightforward. Simply add a switch test step to the test plan. For this example, let's name this the switching of connections for test 1. After the test step is added, you just need to select the predefined connections you want to activate. Within the switch step, you can view the complete routing path, including all associated via points. This provides a centralized and reusable way to manage switching logic across your test plan. Once the connection is established, all subsequent measurement and test steps for test 1 can be placed beneath the switch step so they execute while the routing remains active. Now consider a more realistic production test scenario. As test plans grow, the same switching configuration is often required by multiple test sequences. In this example, another group of tests also requires the DUT to be powered and connected through the same routing path. Because the connection has already been defined in Switch Manager, we simply reference the same switch path again. No additional routing configuration is required. This highlights one of the key advantages of the switch step: connection reuse and centralized management. Now let's look at the switch by via test step. Switch by via provides a faster and more direct method for creating switch connections. Instead of defining connection diagrams in Switch Manager, you simply add the test step and specify the required via points directly within the step settings. Over in the test step settings, just add the connection that you need directly to the step. These connections are then embedded within this step. No switch topology diagrams, predefined connection objects, or connection path definitions are required. For simple switching requirements, this can significantly reduce setup time and accelerate test development. If the same routing is needed elsewhere in the test plan, you can simply copy and paste the switch by via step into another test sequence. This makes the approach particularly attractive for quick test implementations, prototypes, and applications with a limited number of switching paths. But what happens if the switching requirements change later? Let's compare how each method handles maintenance. Suppose a routing path is modified in Switch Manager. Let's move the connection of the DUT from row 22 to row 23. We will remove row 22 from the selected via points and replace it with row 23 to ABUS2. Because all switch steps reference the same centralized connection definition, every instance automatically inherits the updated routing information. No additional modifications are required within the test plan. You can see that the via points are updated immediately at both switch steps now. This dramatically simplifies maintenance and helps ensure consistency across large test applications. The behavior is different with switch by via. Since the routing information is embedded directly within each individual test step, any changes must be applied manually wherever that routing is used. For a small number of switch paths, this may be manageable. However, as test plans grow, maintaining multiple embedded routes can become more time-consuming and error-prone. So which approach should you choose? The answer depends on the complexity and scale of your switching requirements. Switch by via is ideal when you need to create switch routes quickly, the number of connections is relatively small, and routing changes are infrequent. Simplicity and development speed are the primary goals. Using the switch step with Switch Manager is best when multiple test sequences share common routes. Routing configurations may evolve over time. Long-term maintainability is important, and the application contains a large number of switch connections. By centralizing routing definitions, Switch Manager helps improve scalability, consistency, and maintainability across complex manufacturing test plans. That concludes this demonstration of the PTEM switch step and switch by via step. If you found this video useful, please like and subscribe to stay updated on the latest PTEM features in manufacturing test solutions. Thank you.